Good morning, you sexy people. And I hope you are ready to see some Magic the Gathering. I haven't put Magic the Gathering on my YouTube channel in ages. But we're here. I have made decks. I don't remember what the last deck I showed off that I made in my YouTube channel. I don't remember the last one I showed off. So I gotta show all of these off. But we're gonna start with the Shame deck that I finished and made it just right as of late. So I'm gonna show you guys a deck of Shame. This deck is nothing but shame. When you play it, you need to be ashamed that you use this deck. That is the purpose of it, is for you to be ashamed, but it's really the only option of winning. But that's the way of Magic the Gathering. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit a like. Leave a comment, like maybe some like concept ideas for decks that I might play around with. Check me out on my Twitch. I will put a link down below to my Twitch, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy watching this bullshit of a deck. If it plays right, if it plays right, that is the real deterrent here, is if it ends up playing right or not. Which, hopefully it will. I was getting some dubs earlier, but, you know, I might not win now. Because it be like that sometimes. It be like that sometimes. I would recommend maybe play some music while you watch. Due to rules of Twitch, I can't really play music, but, nothing hits Magic the Gathering like some music in the background. So I would recommend some of that. May as well. I ain't gonna use it to block. Alright. Mono black deck. Okay. Alright. Throw this down. We're going to throw this down. We're gonna end our turn and see if they will fall for a trippity trap. We're gonna see if they'll just attack. Sweet. That's exactly what I wanted right there. That is exactly what I wanted. Perfect. Fucking Siphon deck. Annoying. Like, oh my god, it's just so annoying. So that's gonna take all my fucking mana, bro. I'd rather get this down first, and then we'll worry about getting +1/+1 counters. Because I can use that as a blocker as well as mana, so it's better if I just get Kami down. Though this definitely seems like the kind of opponent where I need to kill them fast before they just overwhelm me with, oh, you take this much damage when I heal. And they probably got the infinite fucking combo where, oh, I heal, you take damage, I heal, and it just goes an endless loop until you run out of HP. It's a pretty common thing that people use, unfortunately. But it is what it is. We're actually going to tap this for... I could tap it for green. I could. If I do this, I can tap that for... What? Yeah, okay. We're gonna do this. And then we're going to tap this for 4 white and then play our lion. Like, look at all the damage I took from them sacking 1 creature. Like, that's just ridiculous. I think we're gonna win because they're stuck on 3 mana right now. That might be our winning factor here. Which, I'll be honest, not going to complain. Not gonna complain in the fucking slightest. May as well attack with both. The power of Leonin right here. You get fucking Leonin with this guy right here. Like, you win. That's game. Like, I can't lose. Kodama with Leonin is victory. Of course, with Tribute of the World Tree. Like, this is the combo you game for with this deck. This is the winning fucking combo here. And there is nothing they can do to save their ass. Like, they are fucked. The only thing that could make this combo even better... The only thing that could make this combo even better, even stronger, is, if I ended up having my Wellspring as well. So, I could have attacked with Voice, I could have attacked with Kaduma, like, I could have attacked with everything and just absolutely obliterated my opponent. I could have. But I didn't have the Wellspring, so I couldn't do it, unfortunately. This is great. Unfortunately, I did that late, but it is what it is. Let's get Kodama up a bit. Man, look at that damage we took. Alright, time to get all of our lands on the field. It's all good. Don't even worry about it. I'm just gonna throw all my lands down, and we're good. See, this deck is fucking ridiculous. This is the shame deck. This deck is shameful. The power of this deck brings shame to the family, okay? Like, it's ridiculous. It's straight up ridiculous. I don't care what anyone says. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, once it goes, and there's field wipe would suck. It would suck. It really would, but unless it's Farewell, which I think Farewell's a broken card anyways, there's just no stopping it. Yeah, but Farewell is a problem, but yeah. This is shame. So now that you've seen the deck in action, though it wasn't much of a fight, admittedly, it took me a long time and a lot of thinking how to get this into a fucking 60 card deck. So we got 3 Soul Wardens and 3 Cleric classes. So that's basically like 3 revival cards right there with Soul Warden. So even if they do kill Soul Warden, eventually we'll get it back through Cleric class if we need to. Then we got Cathar Commando, which it is the common of common. It's it's common. You know, it's a common, so it's not the best card, but it has flash. It only costs 2. It's a 3/1, so I can use it as a sneak defense to kill off a card that someone probably doesn't want killed off, but they're like, oh, I'm safe to attack, and it's like, no, you aren't, bitch. And you can also sack it to get rid of an artifact or enchantment, which is all handy. Like, I should have done that before his artifact or enchantment. I don't know if it was an artifact or enchantment. I think that was an enchantment he had down, but I should have done it before it activated, but that was my bad. So we got 3 of them. Then, Voice of the Blessed. If you're running a heal deck, you're running Voice of the Blessed. It is the most broken bullshit heal card there is. Like, it is fucking bullshit. Through and through, this card is broken and should be banned. Like, you literally can just make it indestructible in no time at all if you're playing a heal deck. It's stupid. It's stupid. Then you got Ozolith, the Shattered Spire. This card lets you put +1/+1 counters down, as well as it increases the amount of +1/+1 counters that are put on things. It adds 1 more. So it adds 1 for it. And it can be cycled. Since it's a legendary artifact, you can only have 1 on the field, but you can cycle it, so it can also be used as a draw card if you already got 1 down. And it's a cheap 2 cost. Like, it's really good. Borrowed Time. If you're running up against someone that has Planewalkers, Borrowed Time is going to be handy. If they have Farewell, you're kind of fucked, but that's why you always want to have like 1 or 2 in your hand. Like, if you don't have to use it, don't use it. Kinda card, frankly. Then you got Kami of Whispered Hopes. This card, since it came out, I have loved it. I have loved this card so much. So it is great for mana, first off. First off, add X mana of any one color where X is Kami of Whispered Hope's power. So that right there, as long as you have things boosting its power, you are boosting your mana ramp, which is amazing. Yes, it's a 3 cost, so it's a little slow getting out there, but if you have some way of getting mana ramp before you get Kami down, you could deal with that. I couldn't fit that in my deck, unfortunately. I tried. I couldn't get it to work for me. So I had to go with more of control cards that really take care of my opponent's cards, which is Borrowed Time. Literally the only control card I got. Besides the point. So you got that, which also increases if 1 or more +1/+1 counters we put on a permanent you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters are put on that permanent instead. So it's on any permanent with this one. Any permanent that gets a +1/+1 counter will get an extra +1/+1 counter. So you can have as many of these on the field as you want. So you could have all 4 on the field. You're getting an extra 4 +1/+1 counters every time you get 1 +1/+1 counter. So that's really handy as well. Then you got Kodama of the West Tree. You've seen this one in action as well. So Kodama, other known as Tree Guy, that is literally how I remember him. He's just Tree Guy, though the more I look at him, he's not really a tree. I think he's like stone, actually. No, he's like stone and tree. He's a little bit of everything. Anyways, Kodama of the West Tree, so good. So good. It has reach, so you can block the air. All modified creatures get trample, so you can just plow through your enemies as soon as you put him down and you have creatures with +1/+1 counters. It's just fantastic. And then, whenever a modified creature you control deals damage to a player, you get to grab 1 basic land for each creature that was modified that hit the opponent. So, again, it ramps the mana you're getting. And even better than Kami, that mana stays even when Kodama dies. So, it's just, mwah, you know, it's just, mwah. And if you're running a token deck, and you have Tribute of the World Tree, which gives anything that has less than 3 power 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Alright? you are going to start slapping people around like a motherfucker. Frankly. Okay? So, like, you just, so good. And moving on to the Tribute of the World Tree. Uh, well, I said what it does. And if you put a creature down that has 3 power or more, you're not getting screwed over. You can have creatures with more than 3 power in your deck and still get use out of the Tribute to the World Tree because it lets you draw a card when you put down cards that are stronger than 3. Sadly, when you use Tribute to the World Tree, if you put 2 down at once, it will not put 4 counters. It will put the 2 because then you will be at 3 power. So the second one will make you draw a card. So that can be a little dangerous. You can end up drawing yourself out if you're not careful about your use of Tribute of the World Tree. But you can also use it on purpose to draw more cards if you feel it's necessary. But if you're running Leonin, that is a very risky play because you will be drawing 2 cards every single time you attack with him. So keep that in mind. Then, Invigorating Hot Spring. The only reason we have red in our deck is because of this card. So Invigorating Hot Spring, it's an uncommon. It's you know, it's a little hard to get out there since you take grass and fire, but that's okay because when it's down on the field, it goes down and it has +1/+1 counters on it, which ends up getting buffed by Ozolith and by Kami. So you can end up with even more than the original 4, I think. Hold on. Yeah, 4. You start with 4, but it can be upped if you have Ozolith and Kami down on the field. So that's great. You can end up with 6 or more. Okay? You can end up with 5 or more, depending. Anyways. The point is, you start with +1/+1 counters on it, and you can always refill it with Ozolith if you want to. No. No, never mind. That's a lie. It's an enchantment. Sorry. I'm a liar. Anyways, it still counts for, no. No, never mind. You would have to have Kami, so you could have 5 or more. 5 or more +1/+1 counters on Invigorating Hot Spring. Which is really good. Anyways. As long as you put something down, Invigorating Hot Spring, if a creature goes down and has a +1/+1 counter on it, then it gets haste. It gets fucking haste. Any modified creature you get has haste if you modify it. It immediately gets haste. So having this down with Tribute of the World Tree, I can literally, even without Tribute of the World Tree, okay, just forget Tribute of the World Tree. Even if you're just running this and this, you have Invigorating Hot Spring down, and then you throw down Leonin, you don't have to spend mana to get a +1/+1 counter on Leonin. So you throw that +1/+1 counter on Leonin. You got a 5/5 cat soldier that can immediately strike. So if your opponent doesn't have something that has 5 or more strength, you can immediately strike, hit them for 5, or kill one of their creatures, while also you get your life gain in there, which Cleric class will be gaining from, as well as Voice of the Blessed. As well as you just got life gain, and life gain alone is fucking great. So for some ramp, we got Nykthos Shrine of Nyx. This shrine, definitely better for a single, like a mono deck or a duo deck, like mono or duo decks. You know, you want to do 2 colors or 1 color, great. 3 color, stop. Just stop. Okay, it doesn't help. I tried. I got Jetmir's Garden because I can. You can cycle it if you want to. That's really the only benefit to it, since I only have 1. If I had 4, it would be better, but it is what it is. Just get some split mana. For the 1 fire that you need. You need some split mana just in case. I have, like, there occasionally you are just going to get Invigorating Hot Spring stuck in your hand and there's nothing you can do about it. That does happen, so be forewarned about that. We got 4 Blossoming Sands because you gain 1 life, and that can make quite the difference. Then you got 4 Normal Plains and 4 Forests. The rest is all dual. mana lands, so like I went for one ofs because I only have one of them, but each one is like it could go down tapped, but there's also the possibility of putting it down untapped. So I would try and get cards that you can put down untapped, even if it's a dual land. Like aim for those. They're rare, so you might have to use some rare wild cards, which I don't have many of, which is why I'm just using the ones of. Like the deck could be better. Like it's not the best it could be. If I play with the mana, it would be so much better, but it is what it is, like I said. So yeah, that is the shame deck. That is the deck that we have. If you guys like the deck and you want to check it out yourself, go ahead. Just don't be one of those people that's like, oh, this person has a great deck. I'm just gonna use their deck because it makes me a good player, because it doesn't. This deck is poison, and I wouldn't recommend playing it if you want to have fun, because it's not a fun deck. Like it wins. It is a winning deck. You win. You will win. This deck will get you wins, but it's not a fun deck. So I want you to keep in mind that this deck is the shame deck. That is what it is. It's that is what it's here for. It's to shame anyone that uses it. This deck is literally, if you use a deck that is bullshit like this, shame on you. Like that is the purpose of it. This deck is a shame deck. It is the deck you pull out when you're just fed up with other people's bullshit and you want to throw some bullshit out yourself. That is what this deck is. Yeah, this is the shame on you, or yo, you know? Oh, you, yo, something like that. However you pronounce that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys again, and have a fantastic day and or night, everybody.